That's right. That's right. Today, that's right. I promised you guys that I was gonna do a segment, on punk rock. And that's right. And it's only right that we do a segment on punk rock because punk rock is very important. Some punks really rock. I'm listening right now, like right now, this is like one of my new punk rock songs and stuff. It's probably the best punk rock song of all fucking time, dude. Really. No, don't listen, man. Fuck the critics, dude. Some people are so goddamn AOR. Listen, and so anyway, we're not gonna get into it right now, but what we're gonna do right now, listen to that. Listen to that. Yeah, see, look at that. That is really punk right there. What I did was I called you. It's like listen. Joe Strummer was a bad mofo, dude. You know what I'm saying? For those of you out there who know about punk, dude, I mean, you can't just wake up one day and just say I'm punk, dude. You know how long it took for me to get my punk street credibility? Listen, most people they walk out of the house without it, dude. They just like say, fuck it, punk rock don't matter. But they're wrong, mister. They're wrong. Not only are they wrong, these are people that ought to be caught and killed. They're just out there for you and me. How dare you, mister? how dare, how dare, you would sit back, it's strange. Here, I see you walking with your little girlfriend. That's cool, bro. And it really sucks if it's like one of your friends, dude, and you think this guy's got straight street punk credibility. You're like, yeah, we're hardcore. That's how we roll, dude. And then later on, you find out not only has he betrayed you in the worst way possible. Right now, he's at the house. I'm fucking your bitch. That's nothing. Think about it. But it's not. That's not what's taken. But when he told her that, he's like, "Fuck punk rock," and you're like, you heard it. You're like, "Fuck that nigga," right? I couldn't give a fuck about Sandy. Fuck her. But now you're gonna sit back and you're gonna try to diss what I represent, dude. Some of these cases never get solved. That's real deal Holyfield. Now you hookers and hoes know how I feel. Look, that's real. It is real. If you ever, this cause of mine. I was, we can make commercials. You like, listen, if you ever hear anybody disrespect punk rock, stuff like that, dude. Keep you guys looking out. Yeah, like whatever. Yeah, he might diss punk. It doesn't matter what sector or subgenre you may identify with. I mean, Jesus Christ. Here you are, even if you're just a fledgling punk, you're thinking about it. It's like, at least when they were the option to buy, punk rock's okay and stuff, I'll listen to some later, whatever, but you don't have your full punk street credibility yet. Sometimes you have to wait for it, you'll grow into it. One day you just wake up, you're like, Mike, this is a bad motherfucker, dude. And that's the truth. And at the same time, most of these people, they don't know. They do not know. How much you can really hurt a man by saying that he's not punk. That's fucked up, dude. Now he's walking home, he's sad, dude. Because he thought he fit in with you guys. So listen, he'll probably get over it and stuff. He lives next to that real cool chick. Whatever. I heard about it. Look, at the same time, all these times, dude, people are running around, dude. You can worry about stuff like that. You can worry about stuff like that that's gonna ruin your street punk credibility, dude, or you can fucking give a fuck about a bitch. That's how we roll, dog. We're hardcore. That's how we roll, dude. So, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've seen people. Just because she's a gutter punk, dude, look at her. She's wearing a skirt, dude. That's hella tight. It's really nothing, dude. Her man's out and around trying to find some grub. There's a lot of different, there's a lot of different types of punk rockers on this earth, dude. You know, so not for one moment do you ever think that you're alone, dude. If you're a punk right now, dude, because there are people, you know, our belief, dude, as punk rockers, our our belief in people, we know who invented it. You just back up. It's really not too different from you and I. Oh, X-Force. Listen, at the same time, most of you guys are sitting there and they don't understand. They don't know. They do not know. No, you. So at the same time, people are like sitting there, you know, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, let's just say the punk rock was invented today. Well, if it was, this isn't something that you can order in the mail, dude, like some punk street credibility, dude. You know what I'm saying? You got to go out there and live and learn, brother. How else are you going to learn, how to be a punk? No, we said a punk, not a bitch. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Kick rocks, mister. Now, I know that, that's right. That's right. I know that there's a lot of people in this area. When I first moved here, it was cool. I met this cool punk chick. She was working for a zine, dude. Some chick, dude. I can't say her name because she'll sue me or something. But at that time, believe me, she was punk and so was I. You know, we told each other our dreams and stuff while we were sitting there on the steps. That's right. And it didn't matter, how sensitive the moment was. I still had my punk street credibility in tow. So anyway, and stuff, right? Needless to say, man, I don't need to say it, but I will anyway. People, it was a common mistake. It was a common mistake, but really nothing even happened. Listen, that's the amazing thing about the whole story. She told me to meet her out at the editor's office. At the place where they make the magazine. Well, I got there that night, but her editor was there, and then like whatever, and she wasn't there, and I waited for a while, and then I left. Come on, dude, it's me. Come on. Anyway, she'll be glad to learn, dude, that oh yeah, he's still a punk. I'm like, yeah. Both of them are really nice girls. So anyway, listen, this is like whatever. So I went out to the zine place and stuff, hung out for a little while and stuff. Then I left. You know, really. So at the same time, then we get back over here. But the only reason I bring that up because punk scenes are important, dude. That's right. You know, punk scenes are hell of important. You know, if you're an OG, dude, you remember like Flipside, dude, straight up. You know, the Flipside magazine, first of all, dude, if you're really, you know, concerned about your street punk credibility, dude, you know what I'm saying? You want to be up on all the latest. You know, that's real, dude. You know, you want to find out, dude. You know, investigative writing is good, but you really want a good Flipside magazine and stuff, dude. Yeah, they might investigate the bands a little bit. Like you might see like Waddy, dude. You know, something like that. Oh, you're like, yeah, whoa, there's Waddy, or you know, like whatever, dude. Because there's Oi Punks too. We haven't got to that yet, kids. But Oi Punks are some of the most well-known punks on the planet. Oi, man, yeah, that part, dude. Listen. So a lot of times stuff, right? You know, a lot of times stuff, man, you know, in this thing that we have as we walk through this world and try to keep our street punk credibility. You know, some people it goes away, but then it comes back. You know, like say, like this one guy dies and the other guy learns how to play his music. It's really nothing, dude. You know, now you got a new style, dude. You're a punk, dude. That part, dude, right there, dude. Why the hell would I do something if I didn't have no street credibility, dude? You know, I'm just listening to Social Distortion for my health, brother. So, anyway, you know, that's all I came here to tell you guys about today, dude, is that, you know, if you walk around out there, it's a big world. It's small, but it's big. Listen, as you walk around, the zip code, there ain't shit, nigga. Listen, so if you walk around, you're looking for, like, you know, like, people that you can identify with. You know, you walking down the street. What's up? Are you a punk? He's like, yeah, let's roll, dude. You know, like, whatever, brother. Fuck out of my way, miss this bitch. You know, it's like that. Yeah, keep stepping, honey. Till we find out about you. Oh, that's right. So people, yeah, that's right. You know, some people right now, they're confused. Some people will tell you everything, you know, and stuff that you don't even want to hear, dude. You know, if people want to buy taste blockers, you know, only my faithful people know what I'm talking about. Oh, oh. Oh, if she wants you to use a taste blocker, use it, dude. Oh, 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 Jesus Christ. Oh, God damn it. I'm sorry, wait. That's right, that's right. I can't call God right now. I'm recording. He's probably waiting for the finished product himself. But listen, you know, you gotta keep your street punk creds, dude. That's real, dude. So if you ever see, you know, walking down the street, dude, you see like a friend, dude, he's, you know, he's about to lose his street punk credibility, dude. You should help me out, bro. Because that is not cool, dude. Walking around the world, dude, no credibility. It's cold. Jesus Christ, that's all I had to say. It came, bitch.